Calaroga Shark Media.
Oh my goodness, raise your hand if you had to make your font not one, but two sizes bigger to even read your notes today. Jeez. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Ricky Gervais is being accused of bullying by fellow comedian Robin Ince from when they toured together. Robin claims Ricky Gervais' backstage jeers took a physical toll on his health when they toured together. Robin says, I look back now and I think it's bullying. Really, it is. I'm very good at sizing to things in which you go, actually, this is really weird, but people who knew me didn't like the way that relationship worked. I'm not saying it was a traumatic experience, but after 2 weeks, I came out in red lumps that my doctor said was a stress rash. The 55-year-old was on the Starting Line podcast and said Gervais's bullying was so bad that Mackenzie Crook, also from The Office, stepped in and confronted Ricky about it. I gotta download this thing. Hang on. I'm for real taking out my phone and grabbing it. Face ID, unlock code. No, I'm not telling you my code. Are you crazy? Done. There seem to be several podcasts with the title The Starting Line. This one, the salmon-covered cover art. Ince announced his retirement in 2015, saying that he was starting to go mad with self-doubt, insomnia, and regret over not spending enough time with his family. He remained friends with Ricky Gervais until 2022, when he wrote a blog post criticizing Ricky for making jokes about transgender people in his Netflix special. At the time, he wrote, anti-trans punchlines seem to have become highly profitable, and it ignores the dehumanizing effect of a swath of already marginalized people. I think Ricky believes it is him just being a naughty boy. I believe it makes him a pinup and role model for the alt-right. Meanwhile, Amazon has released the first trailer for the Australian version of The Office. The Office Australia will be available on Prime in 240 countries starting October 8th, except the United States. You might want to get a VPN. They released a clip, which I'll share with you in a second. Hannah Howard is the boss, the managing director of Sydney-based packaging company Finley Craddock, trying to win over her employees with her natural charisma, girl boss vibes, and visionary leadership. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah, well, it's The Office. What do you want? Also trapped at Finley Craddock are Hannah, the receptionist, productivity manager Lizzie, which is kind of the Dwight Gareth role, sales rep Nick, he's the guy that mugs for the camera, and Greta. 8-episode season. You want to listen? Let's listen. I had to trim this a bit to make it work for the pod, but let's listen.
Big announcement. Can I have a drum roll, please? Drum roll. Lloyd?
That's how I drum roll.
People ask me, how can I become a great boss? And the answer is having a happy staff that love you.
This is a proper HR nightmare.
As of today, we are all back in the office full time. What?
That's not good news.
We lost one of our own last week.
Brian died.
We were so close. He's always in my heart.
Oh, is he the tall, sad one?
Yeah.
No, he was the short and smiley one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
What nationality is he?
What sexual identity is he? Doesn't feel relevant, does it?
It kind of reminds me of if David Brent from the UK office worked at the Scranton branch and then we made it all Australian. I'm definitely going to watch this thing. Visually, it looks like the US version for sure. Thanks to Yvonne for putting this Dane Cook thing, as I have it in my notes, in front of me. Dane Cook was supposed to perform at the Orpheum Theatre in Vancouver last weekend, but the show was canceled. Based on some comments in Dane Cook's most recent Instagram post, shows in several locales have been canceled. People are wondering why. Some folks who said they were to attend the Portland show say they didn't learn the show would be canceled until they were standing in front of the doors. One Redditor said, I'm sure all 4 people will be refunded. Someone alleging to be a theater worker said they had sold under 300 tickets for a 2,000-seat venue. I find that hard to believe. I would imagine Dane could easily fill 2,000 seats. Like, you do just play the garden. I hope everything's okay with Dane. Met him once. He was cool. Got him some sun chips. True story. The Ticketmaster page gave no reason for the cancellation. Neither did Live Nation. All right, out today on YouTube, James Adomian's Path of Most Resistance. I got a screener for this thing, like 2 months ago. It's one of my favorites of the year. Please watch James Adomian's Path of Most Resistance on YouTube. You will like it. Also out today, Ben Kirschenbaum's Best Picture. That's on YouTube starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. Ellen has her special coming out on Tuesday, and she has released a trailer for it. You've heard me tell you many of these jokes. Now you'll hear Ellen tell them, and I have clipped this down for pacing. You'll never guess who jumped on stage with Dion Cole on Tuesday night. You can guess for 10 million years. You're never going to guess Paul McCartney. What? Dion was working on new material at the Hollywood Improv. He pulls Paul McCartney up on stage. He introduces Paul as his friend to the crowd, He tells the crowd that he and Paul smoked a little weed before the performance. Those who have seen the video go, yeah, that's probably true. Dion tells the crowd, I had a smoke, and that's why this is happening, and all you MFers didn't give any love to me tonight. Paul said, I've just been enjoying you working through this material, and you're right, some of it bombed. Dion's new special came out on Netflix on Tuesday. It's called Okay, Mister. I haven't gotten to it yet. Oh, what did I watch? I wanted to tell you. I watched Have I Got News for You, the Roy Wood Jr. thing. It's okay. It's watchable. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's not funny, but it's not horrible. It's not great. It's not funny. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's not funny. It's not horrible. That's my review. Jimmy Fallon is putting out a holiday album later this year. Justin Timberlake was his guest on The Tonight Show, and they revealed the title and teaser of their new holiday song called You'll Be There. Jimmy described it as a silly song, noting it's kind of about a bromance. Justin Timberlake said, I mean, it's us. Fallon added, yeah, it's like us saying, hey, you'll be there for me this Christmas. The currently untitled album is set to release November 1st. I got to find out what label this is on. Maybe I can get Jimmy on the show. That'd be awesome. All right, from Gossip Corner, Nikki Glazer posted on Instagram. People were saying that her dress was a little see-through. So, I like to keep you guys abreast of what's happening in the comedy scene. So I had to click on this post to do more research. I did see the photo, and I will tell you, it is a very nice photo. CBS has unveiled a new comedy campaign, adding a chuckle to the I logo and poking some fun at its Tiffany heritage. Chief Marketing Officer Mike Benson said CBS is ready to break some Tiffany glass. People will say that CBS is old and stodgy, but actually, if you look at our programming, it's really not. I just turned 55, so it's the only TV station that I'm allowed to watch, and nobody else cares about anybody under 55. So I have CBS on all the time. Blue Bloods season 39, bring it. Mike Benson said, I think we've got a lot of work to do from a brand perspective to show that we can have a lot of fun, that we're willing to poke fun at ourselves as much as we want people to come in and laugh at the shows we've got. The tagline, You're Laughing at CBS, will focus on returning hits Ghosts and The Neighborhood, as well as the new Young Sheldon spinoff of George and Mandy's First Marriage, and a comedy from Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. called Papa's House. As part of this new brand, CBS is introducing a smiling version of its eye logo, which it has nicknamed Chuckle. Boy, and you thought Hilarious was hack. To be fair, Chuckle is a sly nod to Chuckles the Clown from the famous episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. That in itself, a half-century-old reference, CBS. You're not helping yourself. Why not call the logo, I don't know, Chester A. Arthur? Chester A. Arthur was the 21st president of the United States, serving from 1881 to 1885. Oh, it gets worse. Benson said CBS will start referring to the term sitcom as sit-down comedy to differentiate it from stand-up comedy. Gee, thanks, Mike Benson. Thank you for clarifying that. And Mike Benson said there's a lot of stand-up comedy out there, but we're looking at this not from the point of view of what comedians do, but what value we're providing our audience almost every day. Boy, this brand just sounds super hip. It's sit-down comedy and half-century-old reference. Mike, you get it. You totally get it. You're totally going to make this brand younger. Great job. I mean, CBS just trying to get young. They're also promoting their new Kathy Bates version of Matlock. Yeah, that screams Generation Alpha. Put down your phones, kids. An NCIS prequel called NCIS Origins and something called The Summit. Oh, Mike Benson, good luck to you. All right, this next story sucks. Scottish comedian Janie Godley revealed she'd canceled her upcoming tour, which was called Why Is She Still Here? Amid ongoing treatment for terminal ovarian cancer. Godley is 63. She was going to tour this fall. Doctors have advised her to stop working, quote, for the foreseeable future. A statement from Janie's team says that it was with huge sadness that we must announce the cancellation of Janie Godley's autumn 2024 tour. Janie's been living with stage 4 ovarian cancer for the past few years, and the treatment has kept the disease at bay. But sadly, in the last few weeks, the cancer's returned, and there have been a few added complications. Her doctors have now advised her that she must stop working for the foreseeable future. Previously, Godley had told ITV's Lorraine that it was Jimmy Carr who convinced her to continue her tour despite her diagnosis. Janie said, I decided to cancel the tour, and then Jimmy Carr said, is your mouth not working? And I went, yeah, my mouth works. And he said, we'll get back on tour. The High Plains Comedy Festival kicks off tonight. I won't read every performer, but some names you may know. Rory Scovel, Chris Estrada, Dina Hashem, Ian Carmel, Caitlin Cook, Jay McBride is fantastic, Josh Gondelman, Jonah Ray, Adam Clayton Holland, Again, I'm just skimming here. Mandel, he's one of the comics you should and must know, or whatever varieties thing is called. It's the 11th annual High Plains Comedy Festival, running tonight through the 21st at multiple venues on South Broadway. The headlining shows are at the Paramount Theater. High Plains Comedy Festival is held each fall in Denver, Colorado. A nice job by Autism and Entertainment. They partnered with the Miracle Project and the Laugh Factory to host Let It Out, a stand-up comedy show for neurodivergent fans. This happened last week. Let It Out featured comedians Will Hunter, Kruger Dunn, Josh Meyerowitz, Lori Kilmartin, Jeremiah Watkins, and Eric Griffin. Producer Mike Rotman told Variety he wanted to create a stand-up program after realizing there were no comedy shows that his neurodivergent relatives would feel completely comfortable at. Some of the tweaks for Let It Out reduced the volume of music, allowing patrons to wear headphones during the performance. They also had a private space in the back for guests to take a break at any point they wanted. During Watkins' set, he took time to dive into trains after a suggestion from a fan in attendance rather than just doing his prepared material. Watkins said, "I definitely want to try to cater to the crowd and what they're excited about. I love trying to connect with as many people as possible, and there shouldn't be an exception for people who are on the spectrum." Eric Griffin said, "The language of laughter is universal. We're all different in more ways than race, gender, sexual orientation. There's a spectrum." And that is your daily comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They may like it too. If you would like the program without commercial advertising, there's a link in the show notes that'll tell you how that works. And this podcast supports Podcasting 2.0, if you know what I'm talking about. If you'd like to stream some sats my way, you can do that. Use True Fans as a great app, or Fountain, or what's the one I like? You think I'd know the one I like? I have so many apps on my phone. The one I like, I could just edit this, but that's not fun. Cast-O-Matic. But the easiest way to load up a wallet is using True Fans. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Listen to Adam Curry's Podcasting 2.0. He'll explain it to you. Curry's got a good podcast out every Friday. All right, see you tomorrow.